always eat later. You could always, your next meal could be bigger. You could take that black bean patty that you didn't have for lunch and then have it for dinner. To make a long story short, I mean, I could go on another rabbit hole with that and eating big dinners and blah, 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 but we'll skip that. So it's always like a work in progress. It always takes time, especially when we're these chronic dieters. It took me a long time. The LG plate, do not apologize. I don't even know if I've ever said it in here. But I should be saying it all the time, but whatever. The LG plate is what I designed 2 years ago, 4 years ago. I don't know. This is somewhere in the last 4 years. And it's called the Lively Gardener plate because once you get to a certain health level, I consider lively gardeners. Like I have what I call the wilted sprouts, which are people that are on multiple medications, 20 pounds overweight, like, sedentary lifestyle, et cetera, et cetera. And then I want to move them from that into this lively gardener, which is pretty much where I am if I'm not, even further beyond that. Where you're vibrant, you know what to eat for yourself, you know how to adjust things. If, oh, I gained 5 pounds because, I was on holiday, or whatever it was, I know what to do to like knock that out. I have no problem doing it. I can fast. I can move easily without, a whole lot of pain. I can be active and not hurt myself. So it's the Lively Gardener plate. It's also a double entendre because, again, I'm a fan of puns. So it's a large plate because it used to bother me, but then I realized that it was actually a good thing. Whenever I would work at places throughout my entire history, when I worked in corporate America, people would always be like, oh my God, this smells so good. What is that? That's amazing. It drove me nuts because I'm introverted and I don't like to discuss. Now I can discuss food, obviously, for hours and hours and hours. So I always had large plates. And even one of my bosses, who was like this jacked fitness dude, would eat like a tiny little chicken breast and like, I don't know, like a side salad or something. And he's like, how can you eat that much food? And I'm like, dude, seriously, it's all vegetables. Like I'm because you have to. When you switch to a high nutrient diet or lifestyle, I guess is how I call it, and plant powered, especially if it's plant based, you have to eat more food. That's where a lot of people, when they go plant-based, they totally screw it up. Besides the fact that they're eating overly processed, like crap food, they're not eating enough food. You have to get enough nutrients. And that's why, so on my LG plate, it's this big bowl, and I have pictures of it somewhere, which I should show you guys. It's huge. Like it looks like a mammoth thing, but I'm never hungry after the meal, obviously, because it's large, but then I'm also not sluggish. Like when I eat that, because of what it is, I'm not sluggish. I can still keep moving around, and I'm getting all the nutrients that I need. And remember, I have a very physical job. Like I work with plants where I'm getting sometimes 30 racks in a day that have to be unloaded in a day. So it's extremely active, and we have to push them from one end of the parking lot to the other one. It's sometimes hot. It's sometimes cold. Today was a bear of a day to be outside, but it is what it is. I signed up for this. So I have to be physically active. But I also have to have the nutrients. And this is when I was working at Sprague's. This is when I designed this plate. Same thing happened. They were like, dear God, you eat a lot of food. I'm like, I'm eating a lot of food, but I'm still eating a third of the calories that you're eating with that burger and fries, because I took salads that were in this container that was this big and like this wide or that wide, and then like that long. They were huge, but they were filled with 2 cups of greens and sauerkraut and tomatoes and sometimes hummus and sometimes pickles and sometimes, it always had some array of like protein. And for lunches, I don't really eat carbs. But it was all that food. I was never hungry, and they're snacking on their breaks a couple hours later. And I'm like, we just ate. This is why I eat a lot. It's nutrient dense food. It keeps me going throughout the day. I still have the same energy that you guys have, and I'm not stuffed and I'm not starving. Like, I'm good to go the rest of the day. I'm powered completely by that. So that in a nutshell is the LG plate. Oh, here, I can show you this.